Good day, good people. This is GM Tutorials. My name is Gad Mamba. I would like to teach about trigonometric. This program is for college FET engineering studies and 4. Okay, I'll just do a quick video regarding trigonometry. What do you really need to know about trigonometry? Thank you. Now let's go. First thing, in trigonometric, we need to learn the first thing that we need to know. It's what we call basic function. Basic functions, which is basic trigonometric functions. Before we do that, I need to show you what's going on the basic. Let's do a trigonometric circle. Trigonometric circle, this is x, y, axis. Then we have an angle. Remember guys, a trigonometric angle, you read it anti-clockwise, which is always positive. Let's say this is x, the value of x, this is y. This point here, it is P, which is x and y. Now let's say this is R. Let x be adjacent side, and y be opposite side, and R be hypotenuse. Remember, this is the hypotenuse, and then theta be the angle. As you can see from this trigonometric circle, we know we consider this triangle. Then we want to know the basic functions, the basic trigonometric functions. We have 6 of them. First thing first, we have sine theta. Sine theta is all about the opposite side, which is our y, over the hypotenuse. Then we have cos, which is adjacent side, which is x, over the hypotenuse. Remember, these are the basics one, the functions. Now in those basic trigonometric functions, from sine and cos, we can find the rest, which are the 4 ones. We have the first one, which is tan, is nothing by sine, guys, is sine theta over cos theta. What is sine? It is y over r all over x over r. The r can cancel. We are left with opposite over adjacent side. This is sine theta. Now guys, cot. Cot, it is nothing than 1 over tangent or cos theta over sine theta. Now what is cos? We know is adjacent side over hypotenuse all over opposite side over hypotenuse. We can see that the hypotenuse will cancel themselves. We'll be left with hypotenuse. This is cos theta. Then the 5th one, which is cosec. Guys, you must make really different. Cosec, it is 1 over sine. Even though we have the word cos there, remember cosec is for sine, which is what? Cosec will be 1 over opposite side adjacent. Thus, if you solve this math, will be hypotenuse over opposite side. This is a cosec. Now let's do the last one, which is sec. Guys, don't make this confusion. Cosec is not 1 over cos. It is 1 over sine. Now sec itself, it is given by 1 over cos theta, which is what? It is 1 over, we have our adjacent over r, which is what? This is our sec theta. Therefore, these are the basics. These are the basics functions. These are the basic functions. You can see these are the basics functions. And then we have cos. These are the basics functions, guys. And then we have sine. Alright, the next point I would like to discuss something, the relationship between sine, between adjacent, hypotenuse. If you check this rectangle triangle, which is, this is our theta, we have this hypotenuse, this is opposite side, this is the adjacent. The relationship we know, we have squared plus y squared. This is Pythagorean theorem. And then when you are working on these basic functions, you must always know that r must be always positive. You must keep this in mind, guys. You must keep this in mind, because when you will start solving some of the problem without a calculator, we need to remember this. The second point that we like to know, the summary of the angle. Point 2, it means exactly. Remember in N4, most of the calculation they will ask you solve without a calculator. Now, as we're solving without a calculator, now we need to know the summary of a reference angle. Which is the summary of a reference angle? The reference angle must always be into the first quadrant. The first quadrant. The first quadrant is an angle. Okay, let's say let alpha be reference angle. Reference angle. We can say that this is the alpha. We can say alpha must be greater than 0 degree and also less than 90 degree. This is our reference angle. Alright guys, now let's have a look to the required angle. Let theta be angle. This is the angle that we have to calculate, guys. Remember, they can ask you calculate, find the value of 150. Sine of 150. Remember, sine of 150, the required angle is theta. Now, how can we transpose from the required angle to the reference angle? This is the part that we need to look at. Now, let's first start by the first quadrant. A, it is first. Our required angle must be between 0 degree and 90 degree. 90 degree. All right, let's draw our first quadrant. The first quadrant is 0, 90 degree. Our required angle, it is here, which is our theta. Remember, the required angle, it is the same as our reference angle. Therefore, if we need to calculate something, we need to calculate sine alpha The same with cos theta alpha. This is for the first quadrant. For the first quadrant. Now let's go to the second quadrant. B, when we're dealing with second quadrant, theta must be between 90 degree and 180 degree. Theta must be between 190 degree, and let me draw it so that you will see what we are talking about. Let me draw. This is our trigonometric circle. 90 degree, it is here. 180 degree, it is here. 0 degrees here. 270 degrees here, and then 360 degrees there. Now this is our angle, which is theta. Now how can we find the relationship between the required angle and the reference angle? Like I say, your reference angle must always be an angle between 90 degree and 0. Our reference angle is this part, this small one, which is this. Now let's establish the relationship between alpha and we can see from the sketch that 180 degree will be equals to what? Will be equals to theta plus alpha. Then let's solve for theta, because this is the required angle that we are looking for. Means theta will be equals to what? Theta will be equals 180 minus alpha. This is the relationship between the required angle and the reference angle. Now, what are we exactly looking for? We are solving for sine theta. Sine theta will be equals to what? Then you need to substitute theta by this value, means sine theta will be what? As you can see, theta will be 180 minus alpha, which is equals to sine alpha. And then when you go to cos will be what? 180 minus alpha, which is negative cos alpha, Then for what I always advise students, this is the two basic functions. As we discussed from the previous, the basic function, you can easily solve for tangent, cot, and cosec, and sec. You can easily, for me, I can solve for sine and cos. You can do the rest. Now let's go to third quadrant. Third quadrant, remember that theta will be between 180 and 270 degree. Now let's draw it. If you draw, the third quadrant will be here. Means this is your theta. The angle that you are looking for, this is 0, 90, 180, 270. This is theta. Now let's represent where will be our reference angle. Remember, our reference angle must be here. This is our. Now in this our reference angle, what can we do? Now we need to establish the relationship between theta here and this one. Now from the diagram you can see that theta will be equals to 180 plus alpha. Guys, I do not want you to make use of this reference like this one. It's also the same, but we're not gonna use this one. Don't make use like don't say 270 to theta plus alpha, then you say alpha equals to 270 minus alpha. Please don't use this. Don't use it. Please, this is don't. You must not use, you must only use this. Because I have received questions from students which ask, why are we not? Remember our reference angle here. You must make use of this 180 and 360. Then from here, let's solve for sine and cos. I hope you guys understand what I mean. As we said, sine theta. The required angle, as we find it from here, from our equation here, we say theta equals to 180 plus alpha, means sine 180 plus alpha, and then sine will be negative alpha. Then let's do for cos. Cos will be cos 180 plus alpha, and then this will be negative sine. Alright, you can do the same for tangent, cot, because all these things, they come from these two basics. Right, do the same for tangent and cot. The last one, which is what? C, it is fourth quadrant, which is between 270 and 360. Now guys, remember this is the last quadrant because in trigonometric circle we only have 4 quadrants. Now let me draw it so that you understand what is going on exactly. We have a 0 degree, which is one revolution. It makes a 360 degree. And this one is 270. Let me draw. The fourth quadrant is here. This is our angle. Remember, you must always go anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Where will be the reference angle? Our reference angle will be this angle. We need to establish the relationship between theta here and alpha here. From the sketch, we can simply say that 360 degree will be equals to what? Theta plus alpha. What will be theta? Theta will be 360 degree minus alpha. The example so that you understand what is going on. Alright guys, bear with me. Now let's find sine theta, which will be sine of what? Of 3 minus alpha, and then which will be negative sine alpha. And then for cos will be cos of what? Of 360 alpha. This will simply be cos alpha. Alright guys, if you can rewind this video, you will find that I like teaching the student this part because this is very important. Because when it comes to, I can give a simple example. When it comes to working on this kind of problem, you must really understand that what is going on the reference angle, because most of the questions can come solved without a calculator. This is the reference angle. I would like to discuss the last part of this part, which is special angles. The special angles are the part that you guys, this is our point 3, special angles, and for FET engineering study, our special angles, they are such. I'm just gonna draw a table first. We have theta, we have a sine theta, we have a cos theta. The first special angle, it is 0. The second one, it is 30. The third one, it is 45 degree, and then the second last is a 60. The last one, it is a 90 degree. Now these are the special angles. Are we together, guys? These are the special angles. If you are given to this such special angle, what do you need to do? You need, for if they ask you without a calculator, these are the only angle you can solve them, you can give them. It means every angle they will be giving you, you need to transpose them to this. That's why I had to discuss the previous part, which was the summary of a reference angle. Now remember, for this will be 0 half square root of 2 over 2. This is square root of 3 over 2. This is 1. Then here we start by 0 half square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, and then 1. Alright, guys, this is the first part that I wanted to discuss, and then later on we'll do some problems so that you understand what is going on. Thank you for following. This is GM Tutorials, God Mamba, your teacher for today. Thank you. Bye bye. See you for the next lesson.